So on today's video I'm going to tell you all about how we started working with Brock Pytel. Stay tuned, I'll tell you more. So before we get into it, need to tell you a couple of things. First off, I've got a bit of a cold, so sorry if I sound like the bloke from the Tunes advert in the 70s. And secondly, my YouTube jumper that I do everything in seemed like a great idea in January, but now as we get into the middle of May when I record this, it's getting a bit hot. And yeah, thinking I should have gone for like an obligatory YouTube t-shirt that I wear all the time, but never mind. Anyway, on to the video. Brock Pytel as the sun blasts through, because I've still not put the blind up if you've seen the other video. Yeah, DIY is not my strong point. Anyway, I digress. Brock Pytel. So yeah, Brock actually emailed me. And it was a bit of an out of the blue thing, and he emailed me, I believe, because I think Sean from the Asexuals had said to get in touch with me, because obviously if you've seen the Asexuals video you'll know that we started working with them in 99, 2000 on doing a best of the Asexuals and such like, and I think Sean happened to be in touch with Brock, and I suddenly got this email out of the blue and I'm thinking, Brock Pytel is emailing me? What's going on? Because you have to remember, I was a complete Doughboys fanboy, and obviously Brock had been on with the band from the beginning through till the Home Again album, and you know, had written I Won't Write You a Letter, which was one of my favourite Doughboys songs. And so here's me, like fanboy, getting this email from him, you know, and thinking, what's this all about? And it turned out that Brock had done a solo album, and Sean had recommended he speak to me, would I be able to sell any of these? And so I said, yeah, send it over, I'll have a listen, and you know, let's see what we can do. And he sent it over, and obviously it wasn't a punk record, you know, but there were a couple of brilliant songs on there that were just sounded like, you know, these should have been on the next Doughboys record after Home Again. So I absolutely loved it, and so we decided, I think originally we just took sort of like either 100 or 150 from Brock and stickered them with the Boss Tuneage details. Yeah, and that album was called Second Choice.
So much of my life to say this is a cosmic myth. flying away into the hungry sky above. I wonder why more of us are not getting here. My time is flying away into the hungry sky above. I wonder why more of us are not getting here. My time is flying away into the hungry sky above. I wonder why more of us are not getting here. My time is flying away into the hungry sky above. I wonder why more of us are not getting here.
And so the album really fell into two camps review-wise. I seem to remember that lots of people who were aware of Brock's stuff in the Doughboys loved it. People who were perhaps more of a punk persuasion who hadn't heard the Doughboys thought, what on earth the hell is this that I'm releasing? Which I think was a bit unfair, because I think it's actually stood the time really well, that album. You know, it's not a punk record. But obviously everything else that I was releasing at the time was pop punk, so it stands out a bit as well. But yeah, it was, you know, I was really pleased to do it, and I remember I think Brock was either looking to repress it or we needed some more copies, and so we ended up doing a second pressing of it over in the UK and shipped him out a load of copies, and we sold those, and yeah, and we kept in touch. So I think that, you know, Brock was still working on the odd song, and then he had a song called Big Strong Love that ended up on one of the Boss Tuneage label samplers, which was going to be for the next record.
With lavender and wonder, a big strong love with arms enough to hold her still, like you love well. Lately all these fights, I can't sleep at night. I stay up reading paperbacks, mental and spaces nice. Just what ails me, I'm not sure, but science fiction is the cure.
So we were keeping in, you know, in touch quite often, and Brock suddenly said one day, you know what, we've got a Doughboys demo, and I'd love to sort of put that out. I'm thinking of putting it out because obviously we'd done these as co-releases with Brock's own label, Scam Indie, or Scamindie, and it was obviously Scam Indie because it was at the time when lots of major labels were setting up independent label names to make themselves look like independent labels. So yeah, that came about, and obviously by this point I was working with Glenn from Does Everyone Stare Records, and he was a massive Doughboys fan as well, and so we started to put together the ideas for what would be the release of La Major, the Doughboys demo. But I'll probably talk about that on a separate video in a few months' time. So yeah, I've been in very sporadic touch with Brock over the years. We're friends on social media and all the usual, but as I said, with the amount of people that I used to deal with, it's really hard to keep in touch with everybody. I see him popping up quite often. There's a brilliant Doughboys fan page on Facebook where there's lots of brilliant Doughboys related stuff there, and Brock rears his head on there quite often, so yeah, check it out. But as far as doing any more sort of solo stuff by Brock, it was not a case of that we didn't want to do it, it just really sort of didn't happen. I think Brock started to sort of just do bits and pieces, and then he would form a band called the Slip-Ons, who are still going today, and if you've not checked the Slip-Ons out, I highly recommend that you do. And I also highly recommend that you go back and listen to Second Choice, because I think it's aged really, really well. There are some belting songs on that, and I was really chuffed to be involved in it. That's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one.
Blind, I falter trembling. The arm of day ignites this bridge.